Good morning. So today I have Bavya with us, who is an engineering leader skilled in building and scaling teams. She is passionate about building a high-performing culture, which is about fostering a positive team attitude. She has over 10 years of experience building delightful teams and products and has over 5 years of experience leading and managing engineering teams. Let's welcome Bavya on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, where she will tell us about what it takes to lead a successful team of engineers and where did this inspiration come from. Hi Bavya, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? And thanks for having me over here.
Of course.
So currently, I'm a senior engineering director at Salesforce. Um, Let me talk a little bit about maybe what it takes to lead and inspire teams. Um, my belief is mostly centered around authenticity, ownership, right, and then obviously that team player attitude that comes just not with your team but also when you're a manager or in a leadership position. Leading with influence is also something that I strongly believe in, right, and take part in the changes that you're trying to bring through as opposed to staying outside of the circle hoping that things will go or move on their own. So that's my philosophy. I think I've had success leading teams in this way. Obviously it's a learning journey for me as well as a leader, but that's pretty much what I believe in.
Okay. And I'd be curious to know, how do you assess these traits in candidates? Because I mean, you go through resumes and everything, and they're not that open. So how do you assess these traits to make sure that you're finding people that will be honest, that will be authentic, and how do you make sure that they fit your team well?
Yeah, I think when I hire, so this is slightly different when I hire leaders versus when I'm hiring engineers. I'll focus on engineering talent, right? Um, to honestly, I look for soft skills and learning attitude more than just a one-to-one match between the technical expertise that the product or the business needs versus what the candidate has to offer. We have new technologies, new frameworks cropping up every few months, and there's always the next new thing that people are focusing on. So just having that list on your resume is not the bigger thing that I look for. So we prod through candidate experiences, either experience leading teams, leading projects, working through conflicts, how you disagree but then you still commit towards a common goal. And so we take broad topics around these areas, like, and then start asking them about previous experiences, right? I look for like real stories as opposed to hypothetical answers. It helps me understand how a candidate has navigated through certain experiences previously, and then also helps me assess who they are as a person before even diving into their technical expertise. Um, I think in my case, we
I
focus
love
more
that.
on that. Sorry, can you hear me?
No, no, I was saying I love that. I love the humanistic approach that you take towards engineers. It's very humanly. And I think usually with engineers specifically, people tend to think that, oh, these people, as in like, are just into coding and creating stacks and everything. So it's definitely great to see that you're actually looking into the bigger picture of a candidate.
Yeah, yeah. I focus on 360 in a candidate, not just the technical expertise. For me, rock stars are all the folks that bring in that 360 development and growth, and that's pretty much what I look for.
I love that.
Honest.
And that's very important. And how did you end up at Salesforce? How was your journey to Salesforce like?
Yeah, so I was in a mid-stage startup before I came to Salesforce, and at that point in time, the startup was growing a lot more in Europe, and so I decided to look for other opportunities in the Bay Area where I could continue to grow. So I interviewed at a few different places. I also had multiple offers, but the last place I interviewed at was Salesforce through like a common connection. Like, he worked with me, but he had also worked at Salesforce, and he forwarded my resume to this team that was currently looking for an engineering leader. It was funny because this was the last company I interviewed at, but ended up taking that offer over the others. Yeah, I don't regret it one bit, to be
I'm
honest.
glad. So you mentioned that you had multiple offers, and these days, because it's a candid market, candidates have numerous offers. So how did you make a choice based on, like, what were you looking for in your next role, and how did you multiple navigate through the multiple offers that you had?
Yeah, I think over time I've understood that it's not always about the fat compensation. Right out of school that seemed like amazing, uh, but after so many years in the industry, I kind of have like a list of things that I focus on, right? The first thing was interesting work. Right, I'm interested in the product, interested in the domain, and it's a growing product, right? And we have things to do in there, and a good roadmap. So that was one of the first things I look for. The second thing is also a place where I'm surrounded by other leaders that could potentially inspire me, but build strong mentoring relationships with people. um, I needed to be surrounded by people that I could potentially learn from. And I have plenty of that in Salesforce. Salesforce is also a really big company, right? Plenty of opportunities for you to learn and connect with other leaders. So that was a check for me. And obviously, the third thing was a team and, of course, compensation. So everything kind of worked together in the order of things I was looking for. And Salesforce is a really good company, like very kind to employees. And it's it's not just the ads they post on LinkedIn, or it's not just the stories you read, but it's also real. As far as I'm concerned, I worked with pretty good people. The benefits are amazing. The There's a lot of respect for my personal life. I have young kids, and it's totally important that people at work also value the fact that I have a home and I have a family to get back to, and we respect each other's personal boundaries that way. In my current team, and I really wanted that wherever I was going. And so yeah, that's how my move to Salesforce has turned out to
I'm
be.
super glad it worked out for you. And I think because of the pandemic, the lines between home and work got very blurred. So it's great to see a
Yeah,
company that values you, your time with family, because as a mother, I'm pretty sure it must be really important for you to spend time with your family. And I'm pretty sure your kids
yeah,
must be really happy that, okay, our mom's coming back, we could spend time with her. So I'm glad things worked
yeah,
out for you. And a company as big as Salesforce takes that into consideration. So thank you
yeah,
for sharing
yeah.
that. My last question for you would be, you mentioned, considering because you're a leader of your team, is your team hiring? What kind of positions are open within your team? Because Salesforce is always hiring. So what kind of particular positions are you looking for? So if people are seeking jobs and everything, they know.
Yeah. Salesforce as a company is hiring. There are a lot of positions open. If you just check out LinkedIn, my organization is hiring too. We're looking for very strong full stack engineers. Again, similar. What I described in a sort of like candidate that,
Authentic,
yeah,
honest.
can take
Yeah.
honest, like people that are wanting to learn and work hard, and they feel like work is kind of also a bit like family, right?
Yeah.
Because you spend so many hours working with people. So I would love for candidates to embrace the people and teams around them and the product as well, and show um, real good ownership in what it is that you're trying to take up in your role, right?
Okay.
So yes, so we're hiring, and we've posted on LinkedIn too. So
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. Our time is up. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you, Bavya, and learning
same.
about you. I am grateful that you have found a job where you are respected as an individual, especially as a female, where you are considered a leader, leading a team of wonderful engineers. I'm pretty sure anyone who's working under you would be considered lucky. And I'm pretty sure your kids are really happy that they can spend time with you
Oh, they
because you
are.
found a team, a company that specifically values you for the insight rather than the number of hours that you are putting into work. Thank you so much
Very
once
true.
again.
Very true. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you as well. Thanks.